Destiny swapping. Can someone else take what was meant for you? Hello, and welcome to Veronica's Journal, where we discuss spirituality, psychology, and mental health. Here we evolve as a community that's unstoppable. My name is Veronica, if we haven't met. How's it going, guys? Hope you all are doing well. Uh, Today's topic is rarely talked about, so I decided to shed some light on it. So without further ado, let's dive in. Have you ever had the feeling that your life should have gone in a completely different direction, but it didn't? Maybe you've asked yourself why certain opportunities disappeared just as they were within reach. And maybe you watched someone with less experience, less preparation, or less passion receive exactly what you've been praying for. Or perhaps you wondered if there are unseen spiritual battles taking place that are influencing the course of your life. Today, we're exploring a very fascinating and controversial idea known as destiny swapping. So, a lot of people see it as a symbolic language describing manipulation, lost opportunities, or unhealthy relationships. Whatever your perspective, this conversation invites us to think deeply about purpose, discernment, and protecting the life we've been called to live. So, the word destiny simply means the direction or the purpose of a person's life. Uh, Many traditions teach that every individual has gifts, opportunities, and a unique calling. See, the phrase destiny swapping suggests that another person somehow takes, diverts, or interferes with blessings, opportunities, influence, or purpose that were intended for someone else. So, in many Christian deliverance ministries, this isn't understood as like a literal transfer of God's plan. Instead, it's often described as a spiritual interference through deception, manipulation, envy, or demonic influence. So, whether you believe that literally or metaphorically, one truth remains. People can influence the direction of another person's life. A manipulative mentor can totally derail a dream. Controlling relationship can silence a calling. Fear can keep someone from walking through a door that was standing wide open. Sometimes what looks like destiny swapping may actually be destiny surrendering. See, that distinction matters. Throughout scriptures, we find moments where people either embraced or rejected opportunities that changed the history. Like Esau, he traded his birthright for a single meal. Samson surrendered his strength through repeated compromise. King Saul lost his kingdom through disobedience, you know, and Judas exchanged eternal significance for temporary gain. Were these examples of destiny being stolen? Or were they examples of choices, opening doors, or loss? The Bible consistently emphasizes responsibility alongside divine purpose. God calls, people choose. Now let's talk about envy. Envy is one of the oldest spiritual problems recorded in history. Cain envied his brother Abel and killed him. Joseph's brothers envied Joseph, sold him to slavery. King Saul envied David and tried to kill him so many times. Envy doesn't simply desire what another person has, it resents that they even have it. When left unchecked, envy seeks to diminish, sabotage, or control. If someone believes they cannot fulfill their own purpose, they may become obsessed with someone else's. Perhaps one of the greatest lessons is that comparison is a trap. No two callings are identical. No two journeys unfold exactly the same way. Your assignment cannot truly be duplicated because your experiences, personality, and gifts are uniquely woven together. Still, people can delay each other, discourage each other, distract each other, even spiritually exhaust each other. And that doesn't necessarily mean the destiny has changed hands. It may simply mean that the journey has become more difficult. Let's examine the idea of open doors. Many spiritual teachers speak about opening doors through bitterness, unforgiveness, persistent deception, pride, or destructive habits. Whether one interprets this spiritually or psychologically, these patterns unquestionably shape life outcomes, don't they? Bitterness clouds judgment. Fear limits opportunity. Addiction narrows vision. Pride resists correction. In this sense, protecting your destiny begins with protecting your heart. Your daily habits matter. Your thoughts matter. Your relationships matter. Who you listen to matters. And sometimes the greatest threat isn't an external force, it's an internal compromise. Another interesting angle is identity. If someone can convince you that you're incapable, unworthy, or forgotten, you may abandon opportunities that were always available. That isn't because someone stole your destiny, it's because you stopped believing you could walk in it. The battlefield of identity may be one of the most important battles we'll ever face. Many successful people describe moments where self doubt nearly caused them to quit. Had they walked away, history might have been, it might have looked very different. Consider Joseph. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, forgotten in prison. From a human perspective, it looked like everything had been stolen from him. Yet every setback became preparation. The dream wasn't cancelled, it was delayed. Sometimes what feels like loss is actually preparation taking place behind the scenes. Delay isn't always denial. Now let's address spiritual discernment. And discernment isn't living in fear all the time that everyone wants what belongs to you. Healthy discernment means recognizing character. It means noticing patterns. It means asking whether relationships constantly pull you towards wisdom, God, or away from God. See, not every smiling face is trustworthy. Not every difficult season is spiritual warfare either. Wisdom knows the difference. Some people spend so much time looking for hidden enemies that they miss obvious opportunities. Others ignore genuine warning signs because they don't want conflict. Balance is essential. Here's another thought. Can someone imitate your calling? Absolutely. People imitate voices, styles, businesses, ministries, and creative ideas every day. But imitation isn't the same as replacement. Copies may gain attention, but originals carry authenticity. Your life experiences cannot be duplicated. The world may have many people doing similar work. It only has one you. Let's discuss fear now. Fear is perhaps the greatest destiny thief of all. Fear convinces people not to begin, not to speak, not to create, not to forgive, not to love, not to try again. Fear doesn't need to steal your purpose. It only needs to convince you to abandon it. That's incredibly powerful. And what about prayer? Across many faith traditions, prayer is understood as alignment with God's wisdom and guidance. Prayer isn't simply asking for blessings, it's developing awareness. It sharpens discernment, it builds peace, it strengthens courage. People who pray regularly often describe becoming more confident in decisions and less controlled by anxiety. Whether viewed spiritually or psychologically, intentional reflection changes how we navigate life. Let's also talk about gratitude. Gratitude protects the heart from comparison. When we are thankful for today's assignment, we are less tempted to chase someone else's. You know, comparison whispers that everyone else is ahead, and gratitude reminds us we're still growing. Now imagine two runners. One spends the entire race watching everyone else's lane, and the other keeps their eyes on the finish line. Which one do you think reaches the goal? Purpose requires focus. Distraction is expensive. Another misconception is that one mistake permanently destroys destiny. Not true. Many people carry tremendous guilt. They believe because of past failures, they have missed their chance forever. Yet scripture repeatedly tells stories of restoration. Peter denied Jesus, yet he became a foundational leader. Jonah ran from his assignment, yet God pursued him. Moses made serious mistakes, yet he still led a nation. Grace appears again and again. Failure doesn't automatically cancel your purpose. It often reshapes it. Now let's return to the central question. Can destiny really be swapped? If someone means that another human being can permanently erase God's plan for your life, scripture offers little support for that conclusion. If someone means people can interfere, manipulate, discourage, exploit, or temporarily delay another person's progress, history gives countless examples. Perhaps the better question is this: how can we faithfully protect the purpose we've been given by God? We do that through wisdom, integrity, prayer, healthy relationships, humility, continuous learning, courage, and perseverance. These qualities become spiritual armor against both external pressures and internal weaknesses. As we come toward the end of today's discussion, remember this: purpose isn't a prize someone snatches from your hands while you're distracted. Purpose is something cultivated daily with every decision, every habit shapes character, you know, every act of courage expands possibility. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe opportunities disappeared. Maybe life unfolded differently than expected. None of those experiences automatically define your future. Your next decision still matters. Your next prayer still matters. Your next act of obedience still matters. Whether you read destiny swapping as literal spiritual warfare, symbolic language, or simply a caution against distraction, the invitation remains the same. Stay grounded, stay discerning, stay faithful. Keep becoming the person you're called to be instead of worrying about becoming someone else. Because when your roots grow deep, storms may bend the branches, but they rarely uproot the tree. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this discussion encouraged you or gave you something to think about, share it with someone who may need the reminder that purpose isn't about fear. It's about faithful living one day at a time. Hit that like button right now. Until next time, stay curious, stay wise, and keep walking your path with courage. Love you guys.